Mr. Wall.
We are just going, it's 10 to 5, so we are just going to take just a couple more questions or statements maybe over there, and then we are going to conclude.
I wanted to say something, can you hear me? Is it on? Say something about the slipperiness and the lack of cutting edge of policy. I should introduce, I probably feel like an overseas delegate coming from faraway Putney. It's also on the subject of people working together across the borough. I'd really like to thank Cyril and everyone involved in the action group for the kind of pressure that you put on people like me and Tony. I'm a member of the planning committee, I'm a Labour councillor. And one of the latest bits of slipperiness I've been very concerned about, and I think my Conservative colleagues on the committee, is Boris overruling the development in Putney. And the chair of the committee who had addressed Boris this week when I was there at City Hall said she didn't think there was grounds for him to even consider the matter, because one of the grounds for Boris to intervene is somehow the development needs to vitiate or go against the London plan. And there are no grounds for a small development on Putney High Street of 90 units changing the London plan. It doesn't also stop Wandsworth, as it was alleged, not meeting its housing target. So one of the things about community groups and pressure groups holding the planning committee and people like me to account is if we make a decision that then gets overruled, it's actually really rather hard to hold Boris to account for the whole of London. It's easier to hold people like me to account. Now, if there were no grounds for Boris to overrule and go with the developers in Putney, it seems to me we should do something, and what we should do is we should ask Wandsworth Council to initiate a judicial review. Because it's not just the principle of what happens in Putney, it's if this happens with other developments, you won't be able to hold local politicians to account. So one of the things you can all do is the action group would work, Cyril, with the Better Putney and the Putney Society, who represented us in terms of turning down the development, and pressure Wandsworth Council to initiate judicial review, because if you don't, any other plan that developers don't like, doesn't get agreed, will then get referred up. There may or may not be legitimate grounds, but I'm saying in this particular case, I don't think there was legitimate grounds for Boris to hear it. You have to put quite a lot of pressure on the Conservatives on the council to initiate judicial review. It's costly, and it would be a Tory council taking on a Tory mayor, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Maybe last question before we finish. That gentleman over there.
Yes.
Just maybe the microphone. Sorry.
There's a different consideration, but this is council that consider the source of money. There's no doubt at all now that London is laundering huge amounts of tax evasion criminal money, and jurisdictions around the world are sharpening the laws. Surely the council, not just this one, but all councils, surely need to establish the cleanness of the money that's being given to them for these developments.
And I was just being accused of being political. No, it is. Sorry, that's my definition of political. That's a really big political argument. And you're absolutely right, but it's way outside. No, the councils do not think of that at all. I doubt there's ever crossed our minds, really. It's just, we all know it. We all think that's part of national or international legislation, but no one dreams of think that any one application is on laundered money. I've never been aware of that. Have you, Jeremy? No. You just don't.
But we know that, for instance,
Well, but I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm not going to stand there in a committee and say this is crooked money. There's a limit to it. We just don't. And we just got to leave that as a national force of law and order. It's beyond us.
if somebody offers to sell me an iPhone 6 in a car, brand new for 25 quid, I can't tell the police I have no idea that was underground. Because that's what we're seeing. You know, the council, and not just this council, but surely all councils, they're investing enough money that's flooding into London. £100 billion a year alone is a lot of that is tax money. The Americans are talking about chasing down the money.
The Development Council doesn't say crooked money. I mean,
it's just that I think it's going. It would extend to another debate, much beyond the time that we got. So I think I'm going to. Just before I wanted to respond again on coordination because some people have raised this subject again. We've been really working together in a number of times. Just to just to tell you, in 2009, the Wandsworth Society, the Putney Society, and the Battersea Society, and the Clapham Junction Group, they all signed together a letter to Wandsworth Council on changes that would be required for the toll building policy to be more efficient or more appropriate. As I said recently, last year, the Wandsworth Society, the Putney Society Community Group in Putney, Clapham Junction Group coordinated together all their effort to publish a document of something like 50 pages with a letter to the Prime Minister, and it was sent also to newspapers. And so we try to coordinate things when we can. We very often exchange emails, for example, on the recent government inspection review that happened at the council in July. We exchanged email to coordinate a bit what we are going to each of us talk about during the hearing section. So it's not that easy, but we are trying to do it as much as we can. So I just wanted to finish. I wanted to thank you all very much for coming and hear what we said, and also participate for the whole 2 hours that we had. Just on a more practical thing, we left close to the door a basket. If you want to make some donation or contribute to the cause that we are organizing the meeting, you are very welcome. Just what I wanted to say for that. And again, I thank you very much for coming with us tonight.